Welcome. Today we have with us Dave Lee, who is a breathwork coach who makes the most amazing incenses. I've tried a few myself, they really are great. Who has written countless books on chaos magic and is a long-term elder of the Illuminates of Thanateros. Welcome.
Oh, it's good to be here, Jim.
And you've been in the IoT for such a long time, way longer than me. I don't actually know how long that's been. How long have you been with us?
Whoa. Well, I went to my first IoT group meeting towards the end of 1980. So that's 30 years.
Wow.
Oh, it's 40 years, isn't it? Good Lord. Time flies. 40 years, yeah.
So how did you first hear about the Illuminates of Thanateros and chaos magic?
Well, I was living in Leeds in the mid-70s, around 77, 78. In 1978 it must have been that I first came across a copy of Pete Carroll's Liber Null, which was just on its own then. It was just a white cover, later became a red cover. It was the Morton Press edition. And because I used to go in the Sorcerer's Apprentice, and it's like Chris Bray would thrust books upon you. Check this out. And I really resonated with that. I thought, wow, this is me, because I'd got a science background, but I'd also done a lot of acid in my late teens. So then I've gone on and got a science degree, and then it was a case of how can I blend these two together. And for me, chaos magic was that. It was a blend of the far out and the ecstatic and the visionary with pragmatic science-like approach. Mm-hmm. So it really spoke to me. So that was late 78, and of course, as soon as you get that book, you then hear about the IoT, and gradually I began to meet members initially through the Sorcerer's Apprentice coffee morning. Every Saturday morning you could go down there and drink instant coffee in Chris Bray's extra little shop, his old shop. And I met some really good people down there, and I met Ray Sherwin and Pete Carroll, a few other people as well, who were well known, and started going to visit Ray Sherwin, and then got to know Pete Carroll and so forth. And so we put a group together in 1980, and so that was my first group experience of the IoT.
Wow. So you've been a member then for around about 40 years?
Yeah.
So what is it about the IoT that's made you want to make that massive commitment?
Well, it's never seemed like an overwhelming commitment. It's always seemed like the natural place for me to be, in a way. At first, it was a very small thing, just a few people working together, people that mainly lived in Leeds or in the hills near Bradford, and a small group. And then it became quite a different thing in the late 80s, when Pete Carroll and Ralph Tegmeyer put together the Pact of the IoT. It was that 1986, 87. And I sort of drew away from it for a while, and then came back to it in 91 and went to a world meeting in Burg-Lockenhaus in Eastern Austria in summer 91. And I was absolutely knocked out. I thought, this is the way I want to live. This is great. 30 people just doing magic together and like trying really far out experimental stuff. So I was captivated, and after that meeting, I sort of went home with the ambition of, right, I want to form a temple so that I could have more of these types of experiences in my life. So we formed the first Leeds temple, Temple Gallifron, in 1991. And then, since then, there's been other reasons why it's been the right thing for me. Recently, I look back over my years of studying magic and meditation and other things that are to do with, if you like, a spiritual or magical path. Mm-hmm. I realised quite concretely that my real sangha, my real brotherhood and sisterhood of people who I can talk with about my deepest stuff is the IoT. So that's why I'm still in it.
Thank you for sharing that with us, Dave. And I will see you later on in our online circle.
I believe so, yeah.
Yes.
Cheers.